Police raid on private Coachella after party as big as drug and sex-related bust of the year. Fight broke out during Coachella, culprits in police custody. Despite the arrests, Coachella will go on. Welcome! Hey, Bob! Good evening, everyone. Everyone safe and sound tonight? So far, so good. With the cop who's supposed to be watching this area hanging out in the coffee shop, I'm not so sure about that. Hey, I'm working right now. I just love multitasking, you know. That requires skill. Taking a break and working at the same time, you mean? You know it. That's an oxymoron. Why I said it requires skill. Anyway, Manilia, I really need an espresso to keep me awake tonight. An energetic espresso to keep our officer upright on patrol. Hey, you and your sense of humor. Your espressos are always out of this world. Definitely better than mine, or my wife's. Not a competition, officer. Ah, it is for her. She thought if she could make a better one, I'd stop coming to this place so often. That's not happening anytime soon. So, anything special today? Surprisingly, no. Gotta make sure this place is safe, though. What are you grinning about? Mean it. You were here the last 2 days, right? Yes, I was. And some crazy things happened here. And 2 days in a row. As if the gods were trying to give me first-hand experience to use in my story. Still fretting over your story, eh? Well, the deadline for my draft is getting nearer. Oh, yeah. Happily Ever After, Part 3. Romeo comes awake with a gasp, his mind already whirling as he tries to make sense of what's happening. Was it just a dream, he thinks. Please forgive him, dear readers. He's barely awake. He has no idea how or when he got home, but he's still wearing yesterday's clothes. And he experiences the unwashed, uncomfortable feeling that comes with waking after falling asleep fully dressed. And then he remembers, Juliet, what happened to her? He rifles through blankets and pockets until he finds his cell phone and immediately fires off a message to her. He won't admit it. Will barely remember it through the haze of panic, but he spends the next 14 minutes and 10 seconds staring fixedly at it until it vibrates in his hand and he drops it to the floor. Romeo! Juliet's voice is muffled by the carpet, but he doesn't think he's ever been so relieved to hear it. Where are you? Are you all right? I'm fine. What about you? I'm okay. We need to talk. Something's definitely different. Romeo opens his mouth to agree before he even realizes how he feels. He's been so weighed down by his feelings for so long that he hadn't noticed that something changed until Juliet brought it up. Waking up has been bad for so long, but today he feels different. Today he feels good. When Romeo arrives at the coffee shop, Juliet is already there. She awaits with his order of Americano, patiently sipping her orange juice until he joins her. So, Romeo says as he seats himself opposite of Juliet, what happened last night? She shrugs and shakes her head, the picture of honest confusion. I'm not sure, but I feel kind of light when I woke up this morning. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. I feel like a part of me is missing. She nods in agreement, and they're quiet for a time. Juliet plays with her straw, the paper melting quickly in the icy remnants of her drink. She trails off and tries again. Do you actually remember what happened last night? Kinda. Romeo frowns and grimaces. I'm not sure, though. How do you feel about me now? Asks Juliet. Pauses to consider. I don't know. I still like you, a lot in fact, but it's certainly a different kind of feeling for the last few months. That's exactly how I feel. He sighs explosively. What the hell happened? Juliet leans in and holds his gaze, and lowers her voice. I'm not sure myself, but I have this theory. Maybe, and I know it sounds wild, but hear me out. Just maybe, the parts of us that fell in love with the other somehow left us last night. They separated themselves from this world, making their own where time loops an exact moment over and over and over again. Romeo looks at her in the eye without blinking for a long moment, then bursts out laughing. You're a complete madwoman, you know that? That's just you're not even the one who likes sci-fi and fantasy. Oh, shut it, Boyle. She huffs at him and crosses her arms as she leans back. No, seriously. He waves a hand at her. The fact that the theory came out of your mouth is crazier than the theory itself. Her lips twitch, and then she's laughing with them, and for a glorious moment the air is filled with pure and uncomplicated good humor. When the laughter winds down, they each find that they can stop grinning at the other, and it's beautiful and just like it used to be. A thought occurs to Romeo, and he opens his mouth, and Juliet immediately points a finger at him. Shut up. He closes his mouth but keeps grinning, hands held up in surrender. You can't say it isn't possible, though. She defends herself with a weary shrug. Romeo tilts his head. Nothing is impossible. So, what now? What now what? I mean, what happens to us now? He looks around and shrugs. We just live. Normally, I guess. It's been months, if not eons, since I could talk to you normally like this, and honestly, it feels awesome. He laughs, and it's so much easier than it has been in a long time. Yeah, I know. He smiles at him. So, we're good then. We're better than good, I guess, answers Romeo. Good point. Juliet nods. Well made. After that, life goes on for Romeo and Juliet. They're still good friends. They both found their loves and the one who shares their interests. That doesn't force them to sacrifice too many things in life, yet still makes them feel like the happiest person on earth. They grow old together as good friends, but not as lovers. And what about the Romeo and Juliet who burn with love for each other? Readers, I'll tell you, that couple is sitting on their bench in the park on that clear and perfect night, and they'll stay there until the end of time. They've created their own world without other people meddling, judging, and forcing compromises. For the rest of eternity, they'll have each other and their pure, naive young love, and nothing will ever change that. Some people say that on a clear night with the promise of dawn rain, when the Milky Way flows across the sky and the full moon hangs low, you can see a young couple sitting on a bench in the park, but only out of the corner of your eye, and only if you've room for romance in your soul. Is it true, you ask me? Does it matter? I reply. Surely it doesn't matter to anyone else on earth, and it certainly doesn't matter to them. How's it going? Quantity-wise, it's shaping up pretty well. Quality-wise, honestly, I'm pretty confident. Best of luck, then. You have any updates about the last 2 days of chaos? For the werewolf case, I spoke to Gala about it. What? Are you going to arrest him? Some officers at the precinct were talking about it, but in the end, we agreed not to do it. Because he really helped a lot that night. We asked the folks in the hospital and some other people in the area. Without him, we've had a lot more problems. He helped a lot getting most of the werewolves safe in the hospital. Too bad he couldn't lock himself up in time. Thankfully, he didn't hurt anyone. So, those who'd rather detain him can't do anything anyway. Whew. I'd be pretty mad at you if they did arrest him. Hey, being mad at me wouldn't solve anything. I know. What about Rachel's dad? Any idea what happened? I'm not too sure myself. Most of it didn't happen around here. What? Yeah, it seems like it happened out near Coachella. That's a long way away. I mean, it's not actually that far. But he wouldn't be able to walk it, not in that state. So far, that's all I know. Rachel? Rachel, is Mr. Hendry alright? Before that, could I have a cup of hot chocolate? Dark. Your hot chocolate's ready. Thank you. Dad's going to be fine. He woke up this afternoon. Thanks to Mr. Gala, he got help fast enough to stop things getting worse. He's doing okay then? It'll take a few days before he fully recovers. But no permanent injuries we need to worry about. That's good to hear. I know. But still, it's all because of me. Because I didn't listen to him. When all he wanted to do was protect me. Rachel, don't blame yourself for this. Please don't take offense. But is it okay for you to leave your father alone in the hospital? His friends are there at the moment. And I can't face being stuck in a room with a bunch of people I don't even know right now. Besides, I really needed to get away for a bit. So I told Dad I'm going to visit Coffee Talk to get some fresh air. He's okay with that? He understands. He always does, I guess. Miss Rachel. What really happened last night? Dad got into a fight with some thugs. He heard them talking about me in some very suggestive, perverted ways. Oh. He didn't like that, of course, so he morphed into his cat form and started a fight with the thugs. Why did he morph? So people wouldn't see what his human form looked like and link him directly to me. Some cops went to the crime scene. They found some eyewitnesses to testify, and they managed to find the thugs. Are they fans of yours? No. It's even worse. They work for Mr. Lester. What? Oh boy. The reason why it didn't take long for the cops to find them was because they were already under arrest. Because the party went too far last night. Whoa. How did it all connect up? They're Mr. Lester's bodyguards. They were chilling after the show, having a pre-party before the big one. You know about guys and locker room talk, right? Yeah. Well, that's what they were doing. And I was the topic of discussion. Oof. So, there's that. I'm sorry to hear that. And you were right about his party. I'm glad I wasn't there. Once again, I owe Dad for... Hey, okay. The most important thing right now is that you're safe. And your dad made it through. I should have listened to him. He might be out of touch, but he's still way more expensive than me. And he's my father. I wish Mom was here. You know what to do. You know what to say to Dad when he's recovered. You know what? I'm sure you'll know what to do. You're an adult, remember? But I don't know. All I know is I have to be there for him when... That's it. That's all you have to do. It might be weird to hear about it. Might be weird to hear about something coming from Freya. But she is right. Be there when he needs you, Rachel. And whenever you need a breath of fresh air, you can come here and relax for a while. Guys, thank you. I've had enough fresh air for one day. I'll go back to the hospital now. Thank you for the update, Miss Rachel. I wish your father a speedy recovery. Thank you, Manilia. Man, what a weekend. Pretty crazy, I know. Anyway, I've got to continue my patrol. It's been a pretty weird weekend. But overall, things are still safe around here. But even with that, never let your guard down, okay? No problem, officer. Thank you for checking up on us, Officer Jory. Okay, then. See ya. Are you going to leave as well, Freya? I don't think so. I've had enough rest. And I have stories to write. You're not tired? Definitely not. In fact, I think I can get it done today. Alright. I won't bother you then. Oh, you're never a bother. Besides, this whole book project would never have existed without this place. And you. So, thank you. The pleasure was mine. Now, I'm sure you shouldn't spend any more time on chit-chat. You've got a book to finish. No problem, boss.